In September 2024, as the world watched the dramatic U.S. election, a memorandum of understanding quietly signed in New York caught the attention of Asian observers. The Trump Organization, the corporation named after former President Donald Trump, would invest $1.5 billion in a resort and golf course complex in Hung Yen, Vietnam. Just a real estate project? Not exactly, when the signatory is a former U.S. president who is likely to run for re-election, and when the investment location is in the hometown of the General Secretary of Vietnam. This is no longer simply a matter of building a golf course. It is a suggestive picture of how politics and economics intertwine, intersect, and sometimes collide, in foreign investment projects of figures who once held the highest positions in the U.S. Golf diplomacy, golf club diplomacy, or backyard diplomacy. Trump is famous for his lavish golf courses stretching from Florida to Scotland. But since leaving the White House, those golf courses have become more than just a place to relax. They have become tools to expand political influence, especially in developing countries that are hungry for U.S. investment. The project in Hung Yen, with the promise of creating thousands of jobs and turning Vietnam into a top golf destination in Asia, was received with rare enthusiasm. Local leaders, even the provincial party secretary, flew to New York for the signing ceremony. And not long after, the Vietnamese Prime Minister also welcomed the Trump Organization representative with a goodwill pledge. The government will create all favorable conditions within the legal framework. But here is the key. Within the legal framework, or adjusting the legal framework to suit Mr. Trump? When politics opens up the economy, and vice versa. It is not unusual for former U.S. presidents to own their own businesses. But when that happens in parallel with political ambitions, as in the case of Donald Trump, it creates a dangerous gray area. Economic investment can become a powerful tool to strengthen the image, pave the way for diplomacy, and even reshape a country's geostrategic position. Vietnam is not the first case. Previously, Trump Tower had sprung up in Manila, Philippines, after a series of personal meetings between Mr. Trump and President Duterte. In Turkey, Trump Tower Istanbul is a symbol of the delicate relationship between Trump and the Erdogan administration, something that once made U.S. officials worry about the possibility of conflicts of interest. And now, it is Hung Yen's turn. Who benefits? Who pays the price? The $1.5 billion project will certainly bring revenue, jobs, and boost high-end tourism in Vietnam. But it comes with big questions. Has the project completed all legal procedures? Is there transparent competition between domestic and foreign investors? And most importantly, is the government being too soft on a big name for fear of offending Washington? A golf course can be more than just a golf course. It can also be a symbol of a hidden bargain between politics and economic interests. Trump, businessman president or businessman president? In modern U.S. history, no president has run a global business while in office, except Trump. Although he announced that he would hand over the management of the Trump Organization to his son, the reality shows that the connection between his foreign policy and the Trump Organization's business positions is undeniable. That is why in the U.S., lawmakers have repeatedly questioned whether he violated the Emoluments Clause of the Constitution, which prevents the president from receiving benefits from foreign governments. And that is also the reason why every time the Trump Organization sets foot in a new country, observers ask, is this a business decision, or a political gamble? The end or the beginning of a period of politicized investment. In an era where the line between politics and economics is increasingly blurred, investment projects of figures like Donald Trump cannot be evaluated solely on financial reports. They carry messages, intentions, and sometimes, an underground force behind the curtain of cooperation. Vietnam has the right to attract investment, even from controversial figures. But to maintain its reputation for the rule of law and transparency, the country also needs a strong enough filter to distinguish between real development projects and diplomatic golf courses built for ambitions of power.